I have to say, as we experience this weather, it always feels a little odd to say this pre-winter. But I guess technically it's not yet officially winter, but we certainly are feeling the temperatures and the conditions right now.
That's right, Michael. It doesn't really arrive until next Wednesday. This is almost, I guess, the weather trailer of the main event to come following the first day of winter. But certainly when you look at it, Michael, across the country, every province has got a weather warning or watch out for them today, and it's quite a variety. I've counted 8 different kind of weather watches and warnings, from storm surges to snow squalls to winds and blizzards and extreme wind, extreme cold, and there are some locations, particularly in the Maritimes, where they have 3 watches and warnings out for them. And for example, snow squalls, storm surges, and strong winds. So it's a real buffet of weather misery out there, and Mother Nature is making sure that all Canadians are involved in it.
Well, at least she loves her children equally. But that all said, you know, we are a very big country, as you know. How unusual is it to have all these alerts and these warnings at the same time in each province across the country?
Well, Michael, I've seen it worse. I've seen we often, if you look at our map of weather watches and warnings, it's often bright red if it's got warnings out. And I've seen, in fact, the entire country looking red at one time. But typically this might be in the dead of winter, not in the middle of January, February. And here we are before winter, and we're dealing with a lot of winter type of advisories, extreme cold and blizzards and storm surges. So it really is a variety of them. Everybody's affected by it. Only 2 areas of Canada, the Yukon and the Northwest Territories, don't. I mean, it's pretty cold and snowy up there for Canadian standards, but it's not reached the extreme criteria that where we would issue a warning. And it's not as if it's just today. I mean, many of these are, in fact, we're going to see this throughout, especially in eastern Canada, a weekend kind of storm, the Colorado low, that will spread more misery. So it's not going to change given the weekend in eastern Canada. We do see some changes, though, Michael, coming actually on the first day of winter. I think nature is feeling sorry for us in a way, and I think what we're going to see is a bit of a warm-up. We're going to see this cold polar vortex, which you've been cursing now for 2 weeks out west. Hey, it's going to move away, and we're going to see temperatures that are going to be close to the melting point in many parts of the country. So I think it's nature's sort of festive gift to us to eliminate this kind of the feel and the look of winter.
So the polar vortex is going to move out. It'll bring in a different type of weather system for us. But, you know, these fluctuations from this mild temperature for the pre-winter, as we might call it, to the colder temperatures that we're feeling right now, is any of this type of fluctuation related to climate change?
No, Michael, I wouldn't go there. I mean, this is something we've seen before. I think that often you see in the beginning part of winter, it is often it's sort of like a flip-flop, back and forth, kind of a yo-yo kind of weather. And it's just a transition where winter is trying to get a foothold, and sort of summery-like weather is still trying to hang on. And so I think in the dead of winter, middle of January, February, this would be, we'd be more with the honest precipitation of, say, snow, rather than, hey, with a shot of rain or freezing rain or ice pellets. So sometimes this variety is challenges in itself. And as we move along in winter, it tends to be more, hey, it's more generally about cold and snow and blowing and drifting, and it's not so much this sort of mixed bag of weather that we're dealing with today and on the weekend.
Mm-hmm. I wonder, though, if people are shocked, because generally speaking, we had a very hot summer in this country.
Michael, you're right. You know, we canceled winter last year. We had a super El Nino. There are some places, for example, Michael, in Winnipeg tomorrow, they're going to see temperatures so cold they didn't see it even in the dead of winter last year. It wasn't that cold. In Edmonton, they've had 2 or 3 afternoons below -20. Didn't see one of those days last winter. So we've been seduced into thinking that, hey, maybe winter climate change is going to cancel winter for us. But no, I mean, climate change is something we look at over decades, not from one year to the next. And so I think this is just who we are. We are the second coldest country in the world. We are the snowiest, and we're just having to deal with these things early in the in the game. I think, Michael, the good news is the fact that, hey, when we get to the dead of winter, when we get to January, February, where we expect our coldest temperatures and our more snow, hey, we'll be veterans of these winter weather wars, and hey, we'll have seen it already. We'll already have adjusted to it.
Okay, we the North, right, Dave?
Well, that's right. And you know, Michael, the good news too, I think that we're going to see more Canadians are going to see a white Christmas this year than they saw last year.